Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Million Dollar Media. I'm your host Max Kellerhalls, and with me today we have,
Pharrell Franklin.
and we are finally covering the short-lived Henry Cavill Superman, I guess trilogy of movies that he's in, but really it's not. It's just the movie.
Yeah.
It's like the appearances he makes, pretty much. I think we should start this off by saying, what are our thoughts on Zack Snyder?
Okay. I actually love that you started off with that question.
This
Zack
is,
Snyder
yeah.
as a cinematographer and like an editing pacer is actually exceptional.
Yes. Well,
A portion of his fan base
oh,
are
well,
not.
no, 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 no. And that's the reason why we're both a little worried about this episode, because they will go after people for saying nice things.
Did you see there's a Reddit thread of them trying to like boycott the James Gunn Superman right now?
Of course.
They're like leave bad reviews, don't go and buy tickets or buy out the seats and don't let anybody come in and then I'm like whoa, it's not that
It's
serious.
not. Also,
Obviously those are the extremists, but there's a lot of people that kind of like trickle down off of that.
oh yeah. No, it's interesting because like I think there are some people who are like, oh no, I really like the Snyder movies and stuff like that, and they did a lot of really cool things with like starting up a lot of charities for suicide prevention because of
Right,
we'll
right.
get into that part, but like any like group of people, there are good and bad.
Yeah.
However, the amount of just like hate and vitriol that this group of people they can't accept that this will never happen again.
Right.
Anytime a community can bring some people together, like that's nice and it's really cool, and
Mhm.
like you don't want to lose that idea. So I get it, but yeah, you guys gotta like you guys just gotta accept that like what we have here with these movies did not work.
Yeah, and again, Snyder as a cinematographer is probably like I don't want to say one of the best because there are some extremely great cinematographers, but like
Oh yeah.
especially for the genre he's in, he's exceptional.
I really like a lot of his movies. Like his some of his earlier work. I really like his Dawn of the Dead remake. I like
Right.
300. I actually don't mind his interpretation of Watchmen.
Hmm.
I think it's a ballsy task to just tackle Watchmen in general. So
Right.
I I admire that he was just like we're just gonna do the comic for the most part.
Yeah.
I wasn't in like the movie news and movie sphere back in like 2012 and getting into 2013.
Hmm.
So I don't know what the reaction was when he was announced to be the director of
Right.
this. But that's got to be like an interesting like choice from going from like Watchmen, which breaks down the myth of the superhero, to having to make a movie about like the classic superhero.
I'm gonna say this because I said it to my brother like this because he's a big Star Wars fan.
Mm-hmm.
If Zack Snyder is hating Christensen's Anakin
Mm-hmm.
Skywalker,
Mm-hmm.
the Snyder cut is the Clone Wars, meaning that
Oh yeah,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
I think people didn't like his interpretation of it up until we realized how much better it was in comparison to Justice League.
Oh, yeah.
And so I think Snyder's fan base is more of a retrospective fan base.
Oh,
I could be
definitely.
wrong, but it makes the most sense to me. Like when we saw how much more intentional he was about his things, and I'll get into that as we go like movie by movie, but like
Mm-hmm.
it made me appreciate of like okay, he did what he intended to do and did what he was supposed to do as he was going through.
Mm-hmm. Say what you will about him as a director, he knows what he wants.
Right.
I just don't think a lot of people want that. I think a lot of his takes are a little weird.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not again, we're talking about Superman, but I'm very sensitive about Batman and
Uh huh. If this were a
I
Batman retrospective, oh fuck.
I would tear into him
Oh yeah,
about if we were doing a Batman retrospective, but I'm gonna
yeah.
try not to touch Batman up
Mm-hmm.
until Batman versus Superman, and so I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna save that.
Now, yeah, we're mostly gonna look at these movies through the perspective of the interpretation of Superman and Henry Cavill's interpretation. So I think we should start, obviously, by talking about Man of Steel, the
Hmm.
the movie that every movie channel has some opinion on.
Right, right.
So here's ours. um, it's interesting. I actually like Man of Steel. Like
Hmm.
I don't hate this movie. A good portion of this movie I think is actually really well handled, and
Uh huh.
then it towards the end it just gets crazy, and I'm like, this is a lot.
Yeah.
Like, as a kid, I was like, this is fucking awesome. It's like Superman and Dragon Ball Z and, like, all the destruction and all this really cool shit. But then, I hate to say this, as an adult, I'm like, this is a bit excessive.
Right. So I'm gonna need you to follow me here, okay? This is gonna seem like, whoa, where are you going with this? But
Right.
hear me out, okay?
Okay.
There's this channel called, I think it's just called Dan, which is like 800 channels named Dan, but one of them is like a video essayist that's just started, like, especially about movies and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And he coined this term that I took a big liking to called Twilight for Boys, right? So
I immediately know what you mean.
yes. So like, for the people who are like, what, like really getting into movies at this point, you
Yep.
know exactly what type, like it is the Percy Jackson type movies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if you kind of look at Man of Steel in the timeline that it dropped in 2013, you know, like Harry Potter was on the tail end and then Twilight was doing great. And the movie industry is like, we want edgy, millennial, teen, young adult type stories, but like boys don't want the romantic part of it. You just want to be hot, get the hot girl and then cool superpower thing, right? And so you have
We don't want morals.
you have these flops of movies that drop that are in this Twilight for Boys kind of thing, and they thought this was going to be like the genre that was going to carry on after that, and instead we got dystopian sci-fi, which kind of carried on from the Hunger Games.
Yep.
But in the context of Man of Steel kind of gives off those vibes of Twilight for Boys at the time, but it does it much better. And my opinion on Man of Steel is that if it was a Superman-esque character instead of Superman, Man of Steel will probably be like one of my favorite sci-fis ever.
Of course. This is a sci-fi movie first, Superman second.
Yes. It is a great sci-fi if it wasn't using Superman as the main character.
I legitimately love the aesthetic and the world they set up with Krypton. Like, you just automatically get it. And, like, it feels alien, it feels epic, and you also see why it failed. People like Zod, like, why... Oh, my God. I think I love the Terrence Stamp original version as for just being, like, the corny 70s villain.
Right.
But, holy shit, Michael Shannon, he's great. Like,
it's a great way to put in I'm a real general, I'm a real warrior, and I'm coming down to this planet full of like just soft beings. Like that's a really great way to like interpret Zod.
He's just so passionate about like the preservation of his people and his culture, and even down to the point where like there's this weird subplot that they really don't get into, but it's definitely there where it's like only certain bloodlines will continue. So there's even like a weird like eugenics element to it. I'm like, oh shit, okay, that's interesting. And like how we need to be a strong race, we need to be like I don't want to say master race, but you know what I mean.
Right.
But it's just like, oh wow, like, but he's so passionate about what he believes in, like it's compelling. And there's one line that I was genuinely shocked that is in this movie. It's when he goes to the scout ship and he's like trying to like figure out his powers and stuff like that and trying to get used to the Earth's atmosphere. And he speaks with Jor-El's hologram. And Jor-El's like trying to be like, Zod, really think about what you're doing here. You're committing genocide. And Zod drops this one line where he says,
our people can coexist.
So we can suffer through years of pain trying to adapt like your son has?
You're talking about genocide.
Yes, and I'm arguing its merits with a ghost.
Right.
I'm like, holy shit. Okay. Like, that's a pretty cool line. And that is the thesis of this character, pretty much. He's like, I am willing to do whatever it takes to get my people back.
Right.
Oh, so good. And that's all, like, again, very sci-fi, but that fits within Zod's character.
I think the movie did a really great job. Now, I will expand upon this when we talk about Batman versus Superman. Because I think the CG choreography is exceptional.
Oh, yeah.
The regular choreography, I hate.
Yep, I very much agree. I think it's also because it's, like, it being animated, pretty much, you do get the feeling of, like, this is Dragon Ball. And I heard somewhere like Zack Snyder did something different for this film, where instead of just doing constant slow mo, he was like, "No, we got to show how fast these things are." So I just love the sense of speed that they give everybody in this movie. Like, there's a scene where what's her name, Feora, she like whips in between all of the soldiers. Like, that's really cool. Just down to the fact that whenever Superman flies in this movie, he released like a sonic boom. Like, it made Superman look believable, and I think that like for a grounded take, that worked. This works for the film. But yeah, like, we'll get into the hand to hand later.
Right.
Yeah.
I do think that like this makes Superman more super than Christopher Reeve, and not to say that his Superman wasn't super, but it makes him like it lets you see the scale of power. Like, if I were to go and make Superman angry at me, how would I fare? Like that's the kind of perspective you get out of the Snyder. And also like you said, instead of like, because Snyder loves doing these slow motion shots, like to go against that.
Yeah.
Like, he's really, really, really specific on pacing, especially like he does not stray away from slow pacing. So for him to show the speed of these people, that's a really good one.
It's really well done, and I don't know. I mean, just the action overall is just really cool. I mean, there's just a lot of really fun, creative stuff. I think the best action scene in this whole movie is the Smallville fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the one where you finally get to see Superman like actually like start to punch people, and like, he has never gone full out on someone. And this is the first time he can actually like hit someone with full rage.
Yeah.
And you really see it. Like, the moment when like he punches Zod for like going after his mom, and he's like, you think you could threaten my mother? Like, that scene was awesome. Like, and also one other thing that I like about this scene is you actually see Superman go out of his way to save people.
Yeah.
Which is classic Superman, and like a very like, that made sense. I was like, okay, this feels Superman. Like, he'll take his time during the middle of the fight to like save a guy out of a helicopter, or tell people to get in the building even though it's not gonna help.
Right.
But like, just stuff like that, or like, I appreciate that part. I just wish more of the film had that element of like him taking the time to be like, I'm saving this person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, like, do you have a favorite like action scene in this movie?
Did you say, what's the Kryptonian's name? Is it Feora?
I think it's Feora, yeah.
Yeah, I like when they first kind of like go into like the high speed battle. I'm just like, there we go. Like, that's the kind of action I wanted to see. And you know, man brain is just like, yes, Dragon Ball.
Yes.
But genuinely, like, I loved how like, okay, we're finally, and even though it happened, I want to say an hour in, we kind of needed that because I will have this same criticism throughout all of the trilogy of these movies. I feel like Superman in Snyder's head is more important than Clark Kent.
Yes, very much so.
Which is like, it's a choice.
It's a choice.
I just don't think it's the right choice.
I think that's what makes these films lesser.
Yeah, I think most of the Clark Kent characterization goes to the retired baddie Martha Kent, and that she that like she becomes more of the human side of him, which again, I think that's like, that works better if it's a sci-fi that's not Superman.
Yeah,
because it's just like knowing that this is Superman, like it kind of like makes this kind of dissonance, however you say the word.
I got you.
that just kind of comes through when you're looking at this character.
Yeah, I think I'll one-up you just a little bit. I don't think he cares about Superman. I think he cares more about Kal-El and the alien side of things.
Yeah.
And like, what about this alien coming to Earth and experiencing humanity? And to one-up myself, the weird religious imagery that they add to this version of Superman, and that he's this Christ-like figure, which I fundamentally hate that element of Superman.
I am number 4 Superman?
Yeah. Just the idea that not only is Superman, he was made by 2 Jewish creators.
Right.
So the idea of making him like a Christian character, I'm like, I mean, it's just weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's elements you can look at it, but I've always seen Superman as like the immigrant story and not the Christ the Redeemer kind of story. which is
Right.
what I feel like Zack Snyder was more interested in. Because I think,
Especially in
yeah.
Batman vs Superman.
Oh my god, yeah. And in his version of Justice League, too.
Yeah.
That stuff just, I don't know. I feel like it lessens Clark as a person.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just like, oh, if Clark is just Jesus, then what's the point of him being a reporter? What's the point of him being Clark? Anyway.
Right.
One thing I really liked upon the rewatch and noticing Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman, I really feel that Henry Cavill was trying to be like classic Superman, where he is nice, he's very caring towards other people, he'll listen to other people, he'll get upset when needed, but then again, this is also his year one, so like this is him just becoming Superman, never had to deal with anything like this. And I felt like
I agree.
At the end of this movie, with him like going to the Daily Planet, putting on the glasses and stuff like that, I was like, okay, cool. Now we can see classic Superman. Like he
Right.
It was a rough first day, but he's finally figured it out. I feel like there's moments where he really wants to play classic Superman and be what Superman's supposed to stand for. But the movie and the writing around him is not wanting him to do that.
I actually completely agree. And I even think that like the times where they're writing like the flashbacks with his parents and everything, that like they're trying to make him like the edgy teenager instead of like his parents made him like enjoy the little things in life. That's why he was raised in Smallville. Like that's part of his character. And I think Cavill did understand that. And you can see in the way that he delivers lines in some places that he's trying to emulate that. It's just he doesn't have enough time to do it.
No. And yeah, they don't give him anything to really show that. Like the moment where he surrenders himself to the military, I feel like that's very Superman, that he doesn't want to fight them. Like there's no point in doing it. Like, I'll surrender myself, I'll put myself in handcuffs to make you feel safe, but and I love how he just effortlessly takes them off.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that, I'm like, okay, that's fun. That's Superman. He wants others to feel safe around him. But again, once you get into the third act and it just goes buck wild, it's like, okay, Superman, like, stop throwing Zod into buildings, please.
Right.
Thousands of people are dead.
And so it's like for me, the kind of, I don't know. There's a lot that I want to say, and I don't know how to approach it.
Okay, well,
for me, the destructive nature of the battles feels fitting, especially versus Zod, because he's just like trying to stop Zod, but can't do it without doing that. And it makes a pretty feasible setup for the beginning of Batman versus Superman.
Oh yeah,
honestly, to me, it's more excessive than like the complaints of people that they had like during like the lead up to Captain America: Civil War. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Like that destruction is not nearly as devastating as the destruction of Metropolis and Smallville as things are going on in A Man of Steel.
Well, they also do a thing in Man of Steel where they actually show the people on the ground, like Perry White, Jenny Olsen, and I think Steve Lombard. Like, all of them. Like, there's actually a pretty harrowing scene of like Perry staying with Jenny as like they're about to die, and he's like, "I'm not gonna let you go. Like, I'm not gonna make you feel alone." Like, that little stuff like that is like, okay, I like that stuff, but then it also just goes to show, like, when you have all this destruction, there's so many other little moments that could be happening on the ground right now, just like that.
Right.
I wish they would have shown in the choreography of the fight Superman intentionally trying to bring the fight out of here.
Right.
Or, like, not throw Zod into buildings, not do this, not do that. Whereas, like, he's just, like, letting things explode behind him, like, full-on parking lots, and just, like, being caved in. He throws Zod through buildings and shit like that. I'm like, it's cool, but it's like, this would be cooler if it was, like, Goku, or where, like, that character's intentionally not thinking about the environment. He's thinking more about the fight.
Yeah.
But it's just like, no, this is Superman. He's a hero, and especially when he's like, I want to be hope for people, and he's doing all this stuff. I'm like, I don't know. If we're still talking about the fight, I think we should talk about the end of the fight. I'm really curious about your thoughts on Superman killing Zod.
It makes sense in the situation that Superman was put in. I'd just like to point out Lois Lane is everywhere.
Oh, yes, please do. I love this theory that you have.
I texted Max a theory that Lois Lane actually has a power, and it might be akin to the Speed Force, because she, regardless of like, yeah, she traveled by helicopter or something. There is no
No
like
way.
her travel time does not make sense, and she's always in the right place at that time. Also, she gets there sometimes before Superman, so
Yes.
so she might be the fastest on the planet.
She's got to get
But
that story.
but for Superman killing Zod, it's like you can still see, even with Cavill's acting, it's like you can see that like I don't want to kill you. This is not what I'm here for. Like even though he has to ignore the fact that like thousands of people were killed because bodies were flying through buildings. But outside of that, because I think there's a part of Man of Steel that shows that I think is exactly like you said, that Snyder's focused on Kal-El. And so like the last of his people are dying from this battle, and he's the one who has to be the lone survivor.
Yeah.
And so I understand that kind of choice of have that scene. I don't know why Zod's lasers were going so slow towards the crying family. I thought I actually started laughing a little bit because it was just like it was like a quick time event in a game, and you just have to like keep pressing the button until your thumb cramps.
And that family, I feel like you could have like wormed your way out of that, but I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. They had an escape route, and they just decided to go in the corner.
I know.
Which actually, to me, I'm not even gonna take points off of Snyder for that, because I genuinely think that like somebody would do that.
People would do that. No, yeah, you're right. I also don't have a problem with Superman killing Zod.
Yeah.
Mostly because I saw it as like, okay, Clark grew up a farmer. And farmers know, like if there's a fox in the hen house, you gotta kill that fox, because that fox is not gonna stop. It knows how to get in the hen house now.
Right.
There's no way you have to put it down. It sucks because like, hey, it's still an animal. Like, and you clearly care about like wanting to raise animals and stuff like that, but you gotta take out that fox.
Right.
I don't know if he has a no kill rule in the comics. I don't think I've read that many to think, but I know that killing is never his first option. It is always the last thing he will do. But
yeah.
He's like, okay, Zod is not going to stop. There's no prison on this planet that can hold him. Like, there's nothing we can do to change him. He is broken. I got to do it.
I think part of it is like him understanding his strength, and that he doesn't want to just use it like that. And I think
yes, that too. Oh, so damn, you're so good.
I think that's where Snyder was trying to go with like the apocalypse universe timeline that he was teasing all those other times. But like it fell out.
It did. I think it goes back to what you said of like it's edgy for the sake of being edgy too.
Right.
Yeah, I can like justify it in my head, but I feel like I really shouldn't have to justify Superman killing someone.
Yeah, he becomes his own liability at that point, and that like I think it's the most appropriate way to have him like show that like he doesn't have a no-kill rule.
Just to like end off Man of Steel real quick, I'll just bring up a couple more things I like. I really like Russell Crowe as Jor-El. I think he's really cool. Jor-El. The first scene where he flies for the first time is, I have no notes. That is just a perfect scene.
It's a really great scene for its genre too. Like the transition out of the Twilight for Boys type genre is like it's actually a really good scene.
Oh, Jonathan Kent's death is so stupid.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
that's a great note.
Sorry, there's a lot of things that I know everybody on the internet has talked about, but I feel like we just got to bring it up. Like,
that is the most unnecessary death.
I know.
Probably in all of fiction. Yes, you don't want Clark using his powers all like that. You don't want to bring attention to himself, but he can go and save you. Like what? Like
I know.
There is no moral victory on dying to a tornado that he could have easily gotten you out of, even if he didn't use powers. That is the most ridiculous thing. I completely forgot about that.
No, yeah, I think it's stupid. I hate to say this. I love the simplicity of Jonathan Kent's death in most things. Where it's just like it's a heart attack, which is tragic.
Yeah.
Like it sucks, like because it's so sudden, but there's nothing Superman can do about it. There are things that Superman cannot do. And in this movie, there are like 15 different things I know Superman can do in this moment.
It takes away the emotion from the fact that like the last conversation he had with his dad was an argument.
Yeah.
Because like it just, I don't know, man.
It's,
Like,
it's just, it's pointlessly epic.
yeah,
Well, like, this doesn't need to be this epic. Like, and I think Jonathan Kent's character in this is just, like, really fascinating. The line that, like, blew up on the internet was just, like, when Clark's like, wait, what was I supposed to do? Just let all those kids drown? He's like,
maybe.
I'm like, to be fair, in that moment, I can understand the dad just being like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, on one hand,
Yeah.
I'd get if you did do that. On the other hand, I
Yeah.
totally understand why you did save those people. And I honestly think that he's more happy that he did do that.
Mm-hmm.
He's just really worried about, like, his son being taken away and that
Right.
sort of stuff. Like, which I really love in this movie. I love the different philosophies of both of his dads and his families. His Kryptonian dad is like, you should be the person to lead humanity forward and make sure they don't commit the same mistakes that we did. Whereas, like, the Kent family are like, no, like, humanity is scary and they're scared of things that are different. And you are the most different thing.
Right.
And they will go after you, which, I mean, if we're going into Batman v Superman, kind of does happen. So I like the idea of, like, him, like, as Superman is, like, doing both those things. So it's like, he's being a symbol of hope by being Superman, but Superman himself is protecting his true identity.
Yeah.
So I think that's, like, a really clever way to, like, put him in the costume. And, like, it makes sense why he uses this symbol. And it, like, blends his two dads' philosophy together. I'm like, I think that's really cool. Damn, I have so many notes for Man of Steel. But, like, I feel like that, what you're saying there with him having a no-kill rule goes perfectly into Batman v Superman.
Oh my gosh.
Where, like... Yeah, go on.
I don't even know where to start with Batman versus Superman.
Okay.
If you want to, like, touch a point, then I'll go from there.
Well, I think my biggest problem with the movie, and I kind of realized it halfway through watching it... By the way, I watched the Ultimate Cut just to be like, okay, I'm just going to watch the true version or whatever.
Right.
I realized this movie would be much more interesting if the characterizations of Batman and Superman were done right.
It is literally the inverse of what they should be.
Uh-huh. It would be 10 times more interesting if Superman acted like Superman, Batman acted like Batman. But instead, we have two mass-murdering psychopaths in cool costumes beefing with each other.
It's like, I know I said this, like, last episode, but, like, and I'm gonna keep singing it over and over because I'd like that is what makes the character. But, like, Clark Kent as a character is more important than Bruce Wayne as a character.
Yes.
Batman as a character, as just a character, not even like as a like powers or like significance in Justice League, whatever. Batman as a character is more important than Superman as a character.
Yeah. Oh no, I see where you're going with this. Yeah.
The way, and I'm gonna try to, like, give myself a tally mark the more I go into Batman, because I'm gonna try not to touch Batman as much as possible.
I gotcha.
But in the context of this movie, the way Bruce Wayne is such a well-written character,
Yeah.
it gets me so bad because the thing is, like, I don't like Affleck's Batman, but, like, he would have been an awesome Batman. Like,
Yeah.
Have you seen the Accountant movies yet?
I've seen the first one. I haven't seen the second one, but I know what you mean by, like, his, like, cold calculativeness in those
Yeah.
movies. Yeah.
Lois Lane is the world's greatest detective in Batman versus Superman. And that's what gets me. That is what upsets me. Like, it's not like, again, like, I love the smart Lois Lane that is just like, oh shoot, like, we've underestimated her the whole time. Why in the world is she finding out things better than Batman is this entire time?
I know.
However, I will backtrack and say Batman vs. Superman as a film is one of the most pivotal moments in superhero cinema.
Oh my god. Yeah. Dude, I remember the lead up to this movie was insane.
It kind of had to happen. So, like, it's always been a joke. It's just like, it's like people thought they would never see it. Like, there's the Easter egg in I Am Legend,
I was
think.
just about to bring up I Am Legend.
To where, like a Batman versus Superman couldn't even happen before the apocalypse. It's literally like we got Batman versus Superman before GTA 6.
And GTA 5 didn't come out yet. Oh wait, no, it did. It's 3 years prior. Never mind.
Like, as a concept itself and as a movie that actually happened, it needed to happen regardless of the execution of it.
I mean, yeah, this movie was gonna happen, but the fact that, like, this is what we got instead of it being like this movie that brings people together, like, oh, we love these characters, we love superhero movies, we love comic book films. I remember walking out of the theater. I was with 2 of my friends, and I've never walked out of a theater feeling like a funeral. Like everybody in the theater had their heads down, just like walking towards the exit. No, it was like you can hear a pin drop. It was like the most uncomfortable like walk of shame I've ever experienced walking out of a movie.
It's because we knew it needed to happen. Like I even watching like people's reactions to the announcement video still gives me chills.
Oh my god, yeah. The one at Comic-Con?
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
Like, oh man, I understand that like there's a lot of could have beens with it, but I still appreciate it for happening.
Oh yeah.
Even though it wasn't what everybody expected it to be, it still was. Mm-hmm. Like I think there's 2 schools of people who hate the movie. There's a school that I attend as a valedictorian, is that you ruined Batman for me. Uh-huh. But there's the other school that I think is more logically thinking than I am, that is just like, it kind of messed up the importance of like why they would clash against each other. Like their clash didn't seem like a clash of morals. It seemed like a clash of style.
Yeah.
It seemed like Superman does it and he's not careful enough. And if Batman's supposed to be careful, and Batman is doing this because like he has a strategic way of taking down crime. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Superman's just like, there are things bigger than just your petty crime. Mm-hmm. My method works. Mm-hmm. And so again, that would be a great premise for like a universe expanded if Man of Steel wasn't Superman.
Yeah.
But it's not the same morals of like what Injustice was to make Batman versus Superman.
Exactly. Yeah, like I think the one thing, even when I first saw this movie, I remember being so disappointed when we get to the fight, because I'm like, at this point, Superman doesn't really want to fight Batman. Like, he just wants to like, hey man, like, listen, Lex Luthor, which, oh god, has my mom. Listen to me, I need your help. We don't fight me. And Batman's like, no. And it's like guns, grenades, spear.
And then Wonder Woman has 3.5 lines total.
Really?
I'm exaggerating a little bit.
I'm like, she doesn't talk that much. I'll say that.
From the first time we hear her speak to the next time we hear her speak, there is almost an hour gap. And we see her.
Yep.
And we see her multiple times within that hour gap. Like the conflict of it and like the choreography of the fight, because you can't do it all CG. Mm-hmm.
It's not fun. It's not interesting to look at. Like, it is kind of a lame fight. I can point out like 10 better animated fights from like various different DC animated movies. Like, hell, the movie that this is, or the comic that this is based on, had an animated adaptation. Right. And that fight is 10 times more interesting and fun and like better than this fight.
I will, however, give it like its props. I genuinely like Lex in this, and like I wouldn't have said that before. I saw this video, and this is like somebody just kind of like creating buzz about the new Superman movie, but they said their analysis of Lex Luthor is that Lex looks at Superman how artists look at AI. And upon hearing that and then watching Batman versus Superman, I actually liked the way Eisenberg executed Lex versus the way that he was like, shown to be. Like, now overall, I don't think he is my Lex Luthor at all. Mm-hmm. But I do like the way that he seems, and the way like he is almost a believable character in a way. Like, you've seen guys like Eisenberg's Lex Luthor in school.
Yeah, in school. But look, I think this is the first time I actually have to fundamentally disagree with you.
Okay, go on.
Hate this version of Lex Luthor. Like,
I used to be exactly the same, but after hearing that, I'm just like, he's still staying true to what Lex should be.
Yes, but I just like, yes, I see your AI and artist thing, but to that point, Lex Luthor to me, I always saw him as like, okay, he's a billionaire, he's this big rich like white guy who like has all this money, and like he's like, what if Batman was just even more of an asshole and didn't do anything to help protect the city, but he was just like, I'm gonna create all these things, like I am perfect, I am this, I am that. And then when he sees Superman, he's like we are now lesser than, and I am not gonna let that happen.
Right.
Lex Luthor in this movie feels like a black pilled basement dwelling
Yeah.
guy on Reddit who's like, I think I could be better than Superman. Like, what does Superman have? Like, he has all the girls, like all these girls and stuff like that. Like, the girls don't like me, and like just all that kind of shit. Like, he just comes across as just a incel,
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
and he's not threatening in the slightest. Like, there's a classic, like, it's like made to be like a classic Lex Luthor Superman scene where Lex Luthor has pictures of his mom, which
Yeah.
is kind of now with the Redditor incel thing is kind of funny to think about. Just the way he portrays like these different mannerisms, like this weird neurotic energy. I feel like even Superman's like, this guy is my arch nemesis. Are you fucking kidding me?
It makes it. I completely agree with those points. Actually, Lex was not made to be a millennial,
Yeah, yeah.
and like I don't think Eisenberg, even though I like him as an actor, like I genuinely enjoy Jesse Eisenberg,
Oh, I do too.
just not as Lex Luthor.
Yeah. No.
And however, I do think that like his understanding of what the character should feel about Superman is true, and I think I enjoyed it a little more than how I used to, because I just kind of disregarded him. I'm just like, I'd like to forget that this existed. I think he did what he was supposed to do as well as he could.
Oh yeah, no, like he committed to the role. I understand the idea of like, okay, we don't get a lot of like tech billionaires who are like the classic Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like the modern day, like this is your
Yeah.
your Elon Musk kind of guys.
Right.
Whereas like, I mean, in 2016 it was like, this guy could never be anywhere close to the presidency. No.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like this version of the character would not be able to grow into versions of Lex Luthor that I personally like in the comics. Like the one who would put on the power
Yeah.
suit, the one who would become president. Hell, the one that would at some point, if it needs to happen, work with Superman.
Yes.
Like, I just-
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I feel like this movie is just like, this is our Lex Luthor story, and then there's no more Lex Luthor stories after this. And
Yeah.
it's just,
I see that.
I don't know. That's kind of what bummed me out. It was like, by making the character like this, you sacrifice so much potential story, which I feel like this movie does a lot of that. Where it's like, what
Yeah.
is this movie? This movie's a year 2 Superman story. This is the death of Superman. This is Batman, The Dark Knight
Right.
Returns. This is also Wonder Woman 0. This is also
Right.
Justice League 0.
You're actually bringing up a good point. This movie kind of was like a soup of other comic stories and just fusing it into
Yeah.
one.
And like weird, like The Dark Knight Returns is a great comic. Like it's a great graphic novel. It's a great story
Yeah.
about Batman in his last days.
Mhm.
That's not the story you should be basing this off of for the second film in your franchise. That's supposed
Yeah.
to like spin off into more films. Like
Yeah.
I have no problem with like an older Batman, like a more grizzled, like he's been doing this for a long time, but like I don't know, like a 50-year-old Batman leading the Justice League. I'm like, I mean, we got it, but it's just a weird choice. And I think the thing that like made this film feel like a funeral was that they just killed off Superman in his second film.
Yes. I think so many ideas were being thrown around at once. And then I think Snyder was just like, let's focus on the big thing. We're making Batman and Superman fight.
Yeah.
So all of those subplots kind of like got thrown to the side. And that kind of defined what the DCEU was going to be for a
Yeah.
little bit.
Like, and it's also very much against Lex's character to make Doomsday.
Yeah.
There was a draft. There was some concept art that I found out that apparently the guy in this movie who had his legs like removed, he was supposed to be Metallo.
Oh.
Like they were gonna make him Metallo and be the guy who fights Superman at the end, and like Batman and Superman at the end, which is
That makes a lot of sense plot wise.
right. And I'm just like, oh, that would be a much cooler fight. I mean, and it also like brings in Lex Luthor's like tech genius ideas. You could still
Yeah.
add the element of how kryptonite being very important. It's a villain that Batman can't take on his own. It's a villain that has like clear Superman weakness. It's like that's a cool fight you can have.
Yeah.
And it also again works within the story you're setting up because it's also like this remnant of, hey, Superman, like you should have saved these people. And it's also the idea in this movie that like Batman wasn't paying attention to his workers and they got left at the side and the checks weren't being paid off.
Hmm.
And I think that would have been an interesting story. Like, he's so blinded by hate towards Superman that he forgets about the people that he is apparently doing this for. Like,
Right.
that would have been a great story. But instead, like, we're shoehorning in Doomsday, who looks like dog shit.
Yeah. I was watching it with my brother. He's like, "What is that?" I'm like, "That's Doomsday." He's like, "Nope, it is not."
No, yeah, it has a terrible design. Like, I just don't get it. Like, it's such an easy design to make look cool in live action. And I don't get the decision why they were like, no, I have to make this my own and I have to make this look like this.
I somewhat understand Snyder taking the liberties of making these his own. In the era, in like the 2010s is an era of like, take the adaptation, you don't have to be by the book literally, and just make it something that will sensationalize people and then kind of bring people back, and the money's flowing internally. That strategy was mastered by Hunger Games.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work for every genre. It works specifically like the best for romantasy and for dystopian sci-fi, but for comics, comic fans are a little more purist than like dystopian sci-fi fans are.
Well, all the stuff that you also brought up there with like the Hunger Games and other sci-fi, those are all books.
Right.
There's no like most of the images that you're coming up there are whatever you perceive them to be. Comics, unlike most things, are a mixture of both art, like drawing, art style, and writing. So not only do you have to get the character right, you have to get the character look right.
Right.
And you can like make like I know everybody bitches and complains about the MCUification of costumes, but I'm like, hey, at least they're trying to put some fucking color into their costumes and trying to make it look real.
Like, I understand Snyder's choice in like getting the colors that way.
Yeah.
Like that's his style. It's a little grittier. It's like blue scale, especially when you're looking at the difference between the original Justice League and the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Yeah.
You can tell that like he did want it to be a dark universe, but that's also his style. That's the stories he likes to tell. I kind of feel 50-50 about that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind the aesthetic. I just think like I like the idea of like the universe starting off dark and then it get more progressively more and more hopeful. Like with like, hey, what's Superman supposed to do?
Right.
And I think that's what like they were gonna do because like I mean I think the next film after Justice League, which is the film we're gonna move into now, was Aquaman, which feels radically different than all these other films combined.
Yeah,
like,
it
right off the bat.
It basically saved the DCEU for like another couple years.
For a little bit, yeah. I forgot what the next film they had up. Oh, Shazam.
We're not talking about Shazam today. Sorry, I almost went on a rant.
Well, let's talk about Justice League.
Yes, thank you.
Let's just bring up Justice League real quick. Now,
I
remember the day too when like this was announced. Like in between the release of Batman v Superman and the production of Justice League, Zack Snyder's daughter Autumn committed suicide. And it's very tragic, and so obviously all this comic book nonsense was not on his mind. So he backed out of directing and he gave it to Joss Whedon. Or, like, the studio hired Joss Whedon. They were like, okay, he's done the Avengers. He's successful, and he also knows DC characters. Like, hell, I think Joss Whedon was going to make a Wonder Woman film at one point. Then we got this version. It's a multicolored piece of shit. It's just some of the strangest decisions made in this film. Especially when you have the original version now to look at.
Right.
Like, why did you add that? Like, this adds nothing. Like, you're taking away more than you're adding to this. Especially coming off of films like I think Wonder Woman was the previous film before this. And
yes.
Wonder Woman doesn't even look like this movie.
Like, it almost makes you, I won't claim to be a conspiracy theorist.
Go on.
But the Justice League almost seems like, obviously there is like a little bit of rhetoric of like how superhero movies are like hitting their peak right now. This is the best age for superhero movies. And like Marvel is doing obviously better than DC.
Oh yeah.
There are some DC diehards who are just like, no, you guys just don't get it. Justice League almost seems like it was taking the tragic opportunity that happened to Snyder and just butchering it just to make sure that DC didn't have a chance.
Yeah. This film like has no sense of style. Like even the
Yeah.
shots that you clearly now know are Snyder shots, they like
Yeah.
take all the energy out of them. Like they sped them up and weird like frame rate issues happen. Characters are weird, like Batman's joking in this now, which
Yes.
does not work. And I feel like, especially since this is a Superman retrospective, the way they handle Superman in this is so weird.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, oh my god, finally we can talk about this. Mustache Gate. I've been waiting to talk about this ever since we covered Mission Impossible Fallout. Yeah.
Oh man.
If you don't know what Mustache Gate is, in between the initial production of Justice League and the reshoots, Henry Cavill was filming Mission Impossible Fallout, in which his character has a amazing mustache that adds a lot to the character, in my opinion. But they needed him back for reshoots, but he has this mustache on. So Warner Brothers was like, we will pay you so much money to get like a perfect mustache for your film. No one will notice that it's fake. But in my opinion, I think Tom Cruise has something to deal with this.
Oh,
I'm putting on my conspiracy hat now.
okay.
You know how Tom Cruise is like, he's Mr. Movies, as Emily of the show likes to say. Like, he loves to be like the movies guy, and he wants everything to feel real. He's like, you are not
Right.
shaving that mustache off. I don't give a fuck if Superman doesn't have a mustache.
Right.
So they had to CGI remove a mustache off Henry Cavill. And you can tell, it is painfully obvious.
Yeah.
There's weird shots. The opening of this movie, like, you can tell,
Oh my goodness.
it's so weird looking. And this is not my thought. This is the thought from Mr. Sunday Movie's Caravan of Garbage, where he talks about this, where they bring up the idea of like it being on like a child's phone. Put a Snapchat filter over it. Like,
Right.
give him a fake mustache. Like lean into the ridiculousness of it.
Right. You changed the tone of the film anyway, so
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah. It's also like kids interviewing Superman and asking him dumb questions either way. So like, why not add it?
Yeah.
And just the way they handle Superman as like a character in this is like, it's like he came back and just awkwardly became the Christopher Reeve version,
Right.
which is just such like a tonal whiplash of the character. Like the moment he's like, I believe in truth. I also believe in justice. I'm like, when the fuck did you ever say that in other films?
I believe in justice.
I believe in justice. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. It feels so intentional. You know, the director of like the 2012 Avengers coming to DC and absolutely butchering the Justice League.
Yeah.
It, to me, almost feels too intentional. And also like, so
Very.
yeah, a big excuse is like they were cutting Snyder's original vision for time. And yes, Snyder,
yeah.
when you make a 4-hour movie, I understand why they would cut it for time.
Oh yeah. Well.
So the things that they changed tone wise, like color grade,
Oh,
and like
God, yeah.
now I sound like a Snyder defender, which is mostly how I'm going to talk about the Justice League. The reshoots that they did, like just to try to take
Yeah.
out certain plot points and not make it as dark, to try to add like, you know, the quippy team talk like they do in Marvel. Like that's not the style. That's not what we
No.
came to see the Justice League for. Like, yes, honestly, like yeah, they're a competitor. We want to try to take the fans of Marvel and just like take superhero fans and get our stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
But like that doesn't mean try to make a DC movie dress up as a Marvel movie. It feels wrong
yeah.
on purpose. Since they were comics, they had a distinct different style.
Oh yeah. It's the classic saying of like Marvel is always about the street level people, just normal people looking to become something better, whereas DC has always been about like godlike characters wanting to be human.
Right.
Whereas I feel like they're trying to have the Marvel formula, as you said, in a DC movie, and it just doesn't work. Like this Batman at least is not very. It's not supposed to be quippy. The Flash is fuck off.
Right.
Aquaman, it kind of works. Like I do actually like the scene with him like sitting on the lasso. I think that's actually fun way to like have that character be funny. But like they take all the sauce away from what makes these characters interesting in the Snyder style fun
Yeah.
to watch, and you're just left with this hollow corpse of a movie, like a Frankenstein mess of a movie. But instead of lightning bringing it to life, it's just even more fried.
And the thing is, like, whoever was like in charge of casting for the entire Justice League, I honestly didn't hate it. Like, of course,
well.
of course, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say this with disregard to the controversy,
Which one?
but yeah, I'll let it be up to everyone's imagination. Okay, I will say this though. I would have preferred Grant Gustin. He would have been a good cinematic Flash. Even though like CW is corny a lot, I think he would have done a great CW Flash.
Oh yeah, I think.
I look back at the Snyderverse and it's a lot of could have beens, because
Yeah.
I honestly think that like not every choice wasn't bad, but I think a lot of choices could have been better.
Oh yeah, I think there are like really ballsy choices that just were like foul balls. Like nothing. Like there are some really great home runs, like Henry
Yeah.
Cavill. Henry Cavill.
Again, like after watching the Accountant movies, I'm like, Ben Affleck could have been an awesome Batman. He could have been my favorite Batman
Oh.
if like his choreography was better, if Batman was actually a detective, and if Batman and Superman fought like for a more valid reason. Like like Cavill was a great pick. I still think Cavill, if he was directed by James Gunn, his Superman would be just as hyped as Corn Sweat's Superman right now.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'll say one other thing, like just big swing and a home run that I do think works. Making Aquaman a Pacific Islander. That's actually
yeah.
that's a really fun and inspired choice that I hope they continue doing going forward in the films.
I think that's an awesome choice, and then kind of making like his half brother kind of like look like what we're
Yeah.
used to seeing in Aquaman. I think that's amazing.
I like that decision. I mean, I love that he's Lobo now. Like,
Yeah.
he's born to play Lobo. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, like, I think you can have a Pacific Islander actor be the traditional Aquaman stoic.
Yeah,
Like, I think you can do that. Like, there's nothing saying that, like, you can't do that. But it's just, like, this is not an Aquaman retrospective. Maybe one day, but not today.
how can I say this? Okay,
All right.
I also think that like stature and visually, like Gal Gadot looks like Wonder Woman to me. Like even
Yeah.
before she was cast,
yeah.
like she was made to look the part.
I think she was
But
a
when
bit-
you give her 4 lines a movie,
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the infamous Kal-El, no. That one. That one. Yeah. It's interesting.
I want to say that she needs somebody who can direct her.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like, I hate to say this, but I think the reign of Gal Gadot is slowly coming to an end.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say it because that's just now getting into some weird geopolitical stuff that we're already talking about the Snyder fans. I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into what I was about to say.
Here's what I'll drop in.
Oh, no.
It is very interesting to announce an award with her and Rachel Zegler next to each other. That is like the two ends of like who wants to be louder on who they hate more. Now, I honestly, as both of them as performers, have no issue with them as performers. And that is all I'm going to say.
Yeah, we can move on. We're
I just wanted to touch on that. I knew I wanted to touch on that.
Yeah.
I just thought that like that is an image that you can't even write up.
Oh yeah. We haven't specifically talked. We talked about like the differences between the two cuts, but I kind of want to talk about the Zack Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Now, I do really like this movie. Now,
Yeah.
it is a movie you have to be in a very specific mood to watch. You have to commit to sit down and watch this.
It's not even like I have a little bit of time today. It's not like date night. It is like finals are tomorrow and I need to watch this to study.
Yes. The funny thing is, I didn't rewatch this. I just watched YouTube clips because I was like, I have no time.
Yeah.
So to be fair, if I have any criticisms or complaints, yeah, fine, I'll take them here. But I do like this film. I really like how this film now has a chance to breathe and let all of what it wants to say be told. And I think
Right.
the one thing I think is really well done, and I can understand why he pushed for it. Ray Fisher as Cyborg is actually really fucking good.
To know that like a cyborg movie could have happened.
I know.
Oh, that would like
Him and Cavill are the two people who I think got royally screwed in the
Yeah.
DCU. Like,
And that
yeah.
he was an amazing side because I'm also somewhat sensitive about Cyborg as a character, especially like Justice League Cyborg. The way Cyborg is treated in the Snyder cut, I think is done very well. I think you really care about his character a lot more than you care about Justice League Cyborg.
Well, I hate to be this guy, but I'm just gonna say it, just because it kind of feels like it in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
In League, Wonder Woman and Cyborg just feel like, oh, we have to have a woman on the team, we have to have a black guy on the team.
Right.
And it's like, hey, we're already one-upping the first Avengers team because they had no black people.
Right.
So it's like, and that's what he feels like in that movie. I don't want to be like, oh, diversity hire, whatever. Fuck off. That's not what I'm
No,
saying.
that's how he was treated in
That's
the
how
movie,
he
though, and
was
I actually
treated.
agree.
Like, I'm not,
I think
yeah, I hate to be the one to point it out.
no, I think that's exactly it. I think they missed the point, and that's how you can tell that like he didn't understand DC Comics because when you look at Cyborg and Wonder Woman as characters, especially in a team that is as important as the Justice League in DC, that is extremely progressive, even compared to today.
Oh, yeah.
Like to have characters that important, like it does, and they're not forced to be in there. They're characters that genuinely had like a genuine fan base behind them and everything.
yeah.
Like that's.
I mean, Cyborg was
I think-
was a Teen Titan, and
Right.
he like got upgraded to being a Justice League member.
Right.
Which, think about it. No other Teen Titan has.
Yeah. 4 Robins have gone through the Titans and have not gotten to the Justice League. That's you're telling me Nightwing doesn't make the Justice League.
I know.
And okay, this is so far of a tangent, but I just want to say this as like one of maybe 12 Tim Drake fans out in the world right there. I see you. Tim Drake should have also been an Avenger. Batman even
What?
admitted that he's that Tim is
Hold on.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Sorry.
I was like, Trey, careful
Sorry.
now.
He could have been an Avenger too, but
Yeah.
no. Tim Drake should have also been Justice League. Batman has said on different comics that Tim Drake was a better detective than him. But you know, Jason Todd's revival, and all of a sudden we love Jason again, right?
Going back to Zack Snyder's Justice League,
He treats the characters right in his cut.
even into the only thing I don't like about the Cyborg is I hate his design.
Yeah.
It's bad. I just don't like it. It just looks like a kid got a pencil and just started drawing randomly and just like squiggly lines and then just put a face that looks like Cyborg from the comic. I'm like, oh, that just looks ugly. Like, I don't like it.
I think it's still riding on the coattails of early 2010 sci-fi style. And you can even see this in like the Call of Duty games that came out during that time. Like that's what sci-fi and like high technology looked like. And it's just like by that time it's outdated.
He looks like a bad Transformer.
Yeah.
We gotta bring it back to the Superman thing.
Oh yeah.
I actually like how they handle him bringing him back. I like the black suit with the silver
Yeah.
ass. I kind of wish they gave him a mullet. Just full, like, 90s Superman. The one thing I don't like about the way they bring him back is, like, at the end of Batman v BVS, they hint to him still being somewhat alive because the dirt rises a bit.
Yeah.
But in this, they're like, no, he's dead. He's, like, just dead.
Right.
And there's no, like, weird healing coma thing, which I kind of wish they did. But I think in this version, I like how they tied it in with the mother box and stuff like, and they make sense of it. And they're like, okay, we are doing a Hail Mary attempt here. Like, we are doing something that like has never been done. We're bringing someone back from the dead. I get it in this version.
Just how different the way they treat even reviving Superman in this. As it makes it like the stakes are this high, and you know it kind of goes back to the same thing that like they're trying to make Superman this like uber savior character, but like at the same time, like I feel like Snyder Cut's version is just like, we need to do this, and it's gonna cost us if we do it wrong.
Yeah, it's like, look, we suck. Like, we are not enough. Flash can't run. Aquaman is nowhere near water. Cyborg, you're going through some shit right now. Batman is just the guy, and Wonder Woman is the only one who's able to at least take on I almost said Darkseid, but Steppenwolf. We need this guy.
Yeah.
We briefly get to see like his version of Clark in this more. I really like the moment when like his mom sees him for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, that's a really sweet moment. I think they handled that really well, and it feels very Superman the way he's just like, hi, Mom. I know this is a lot. And I like the moment with him, like, going to look at all the suits and stuff, and, like, you hear both of his dads, like, talking to him and like giving him the philosophy.
Right.
Yeah, I just think that seems really cool. I also love the score.
You can't go wrong with the score
Oh,
on the Snyder Cut. I actually enjoy it much better than what was happening on Justice League.
Well, I'm good. This is a very controversial opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Danny Elfman. I don't really like a lot of his music. I think the Batman theme is iconic, but like in my opinion, anytime I hear a Danny Elfman theme, I'm like, all right, here's his weird like I much prefer either the John Williams score or the Hans Zimmer stuff. But like I don't know, I feel like it was just like, hey, we have to do the score very last minute, and they're adding in the original Batman theme and the original Superman theme into it in these really awkward places. Where in this version, it's like, these are the themes we set up in this universe for these characters.
I'm glad you mentioned Hans Zimmer, because Hans Zimmer is very good at immersing you into the universe. You don't necessarily need like the iconic, John Williams to me is like, you get the icons, right? You get the tune and you're just like, oh, like I know exactly where that's from. That's iconic. But Hans Zimmer, like every single track in scores that he makes puts you into the universe completely. And I know this is kind of tracking back to Man of Steel a little bit, but I think he does a really, really good job. I think he does a great job in like making Man of Steel feel like an experience rather than a movie.
Especially in that scene with him flying for the first time.
Yes.
That's all score. That's all they give him. It's so good. I love the Man of Steel theme. It's so good.
That's a good way to like kind of make a delineation away from Christopher Reeve's Superman. I think it's just like, we're not trying to be exactly like this. And I'm not saying that's the same way with Corn Sweat Superman at all. But like, they're making an obvious reference to the old John Williams theme.
With that version, they're like, we are trying to bring it back to what Superman means. Whereas this version is like, we are charting a new path.
I think by themselves, outside of the context of what's happening in the comic world and the comic superhero movie adaptations world, these movies, if they existed without trying to fight the peak of Marvel Studios, they'd be great gateways into like superhero movies.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna say they're misunderstood, because I think there's a lot of people who go in understanding them. There's a lot of things that like just didn't work. And there were too many liberties, I think, taken with characters that we've known for some of them over a century now.
No, not yet, but we're getting
not yet. Are we getting close? I feel like Superman and Batman are nearing it.
Batman's over 80. Superman's definitely over 80.
I feel like Superman's nearing 100.
He is. He's getting very close, which is scary because then you're going to see a lot of low budget horror versions of Superman.
The low budget horror movies of Superman.
Yeah.
On my second watch through of all, so like I've only seen these Cavill movies once because they upset me so much. But
why do they upset you?
Like watching them again, I actually like enjoyed it a lot more than the first time. A second watch through always gives you like more, but like watching them again, it makes me appreciate that like Cavill was still trying to stay true.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He still felt like Superman. He still tried to make Superman a hero. And I think I'm targeting you, Snyder superfans. I think that we forget that Superman is supposed to be a hero.
Yeah.
I think it's like, but it's more realistic, it's more gritty, it's more dangerous. Like, yes, of course it's dangerous. There's superpowered beings fighting each other in the middle of a big city. But like, I like that we're making Cavill Superman still feel like he cares about like what he's fighting for.
It's almost like their idea of like, if it's gritty and real, so that means Superman can't be a nice guy. So
right.
He has to be power incarnate. Good people really don't exist. And I feel like that, just on that principle, it just cuts the legs off these films in general, because it's just like, even the filmmakers themselves, I feel like, don't really think that like what Superman is about works and like should work. Whereas like the original films were like, no, Superman is a good person. He does things just because he can, and he will go out of his way to do anything and everything all at the same time. Whereas this Superman is just like, I'll handle the problem in front of me, but like I can't work on everything at once, and a lot of people are yelling at me because I'm doing this wrong, and I'm just kind of backing down. I'm like, I think what it boils down to between these two actors, and we're just looking at these two actors, because these are the cinematic interpretations. I feel like Christopher Reeve was true to Superman, but not comic accurate.
Right.
Cavill was comic accurate, but not true to Superman.
Right.
And that's how I see these two.
One of the things that makes Superman compelling is that he is a story of nature versus nurture. When you decide to pick one side to be dominant, like the Christopher Reeve is like the nurturer, just like I grew up in Smallville, I'm supposed to be just nice to these people, even if they're not as nice to me. Like I just have to sit there and take like, and there's a little bit of that in Cavill's, especially like when he's getting bullied and just kind of has to sit there and not retaliate. And even you can see that in Zod's character, where it's just like, you are a Kryptonian and you are on a planet that makes you much stronger than you would ever be back on our planet. Why aren't you doing what you're supposed to? Is there a happy medium for that? We don't know. You know,
I'm hoping.
Right.
If Superman can make me feel anything, it's hope. And I hope that this new movie gets it right, which I'm gonna say, like, I think it will.
I'm optimistic about a Superman movie. I'd like this rewatching journey has made me like Superman a lot more than I ever would have, because I don't even like him in the comics.
Interesting.
Like, I mean, you know, I appreciate him in the comics, but like, I am not a Superman fan. I feel like some of the comic writers just like, instead of building his character and like making it like rewarding to see him make a feat, I feel like some of the comic writers just give him something so that he can stay relevant. He can still stay relevant, just make him just like make us care about his relevance.
If I were to recommend a couple comics to you, I would say Superman for All Seasons, All-Star Superman, and then Superman Birthright. Those are all really good Superman stories that I think would work well for you. I guess another one that I'd recommend is What's So Funny About Truth and Justice. That's a really good story. It's Superman having to deal with the modern age comic book character with like these like angsty, rebellious like superheroes who kill people and like go in and take over governments and shit. And he's just like, no, we're not about that. Like, all of these versions have like really good like animated stuff you can watch too. All-Star Superman. There's a lot of really good first things of Superman you can watch out there that make him a good character. Which I almost think Superman, in my opinion, works better in movies than he does in comics sometimes.
A little bit.
Which is really interesting. Man, what a fucking journey.
I don't know if I'm at the point of apologizing yet. I'll still have to see David Cornsweat's Superman before I apologize to Superman Forever.
Fair.
But kind of rewatching this, I can see that there is still an intention of trying to, like, the comic book character was also supposed to be hopeful. And I think that, especially like post Snyderverse and then the adaptations of both The Boys and the Invincible comics, and then there's stuff like Brightburn and stuff like that. Like, I feel like this Superman type character has kind of been like a, literally, we've been Lex Luthered by the media. That's how I'll say it.
Yep.
I do think that the media has kind of like made Superman and the Superman archetype a negative thing. And I think kind of like going back through these, especially like rewatching Snyderverse, which I despise greatly, I'm just like, maybe we're not seeing it all the way. And that doesn't mean that I'm going to redeem Batman versus Superman. However, that means that I might go back and be like, maybe Superman isn't all that bad.
Yeah, brilliantly said. And I guess in the next video that we're going to be doing is the new Superman movie, which I'm very excited for.
I can't wait. I'm like a little kid at a theme park about this movie.
I'm going to be there day one. And if you like us doing these retrospective episodes, we are about to do a retrospective on the Fantastic Four. So if you guys want to watch us talk about the Fantastic Four, another classic superhero group in that like early golden age superhero kind of stuff like Superman, we're going to be talking about all the versions of the Fantastic Four movies. And then because I fucked up the schedule, at the end of the month, we're going to be covering all the Jurassic Park movies. So definitely tune in to watch all that. Trey, is there anything you want to plug before we end this episode off?
I would say go watch Superman, but that might get us doxxed by the Snyder fans.
Yeah.
Not much really. It just, you know, I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for having me. This has been really fun. This has been way more fun than I even expected it to be. So I'm having a great time.
I'm having a great time too. I think that's all we got to say. So like, subscribe, and share. Leave a comment down below what you think about these movies and if you're excited for the new movie. And yeah, hope you have a good day. Bye.